Look, we're back in class. Oh, there's Donnie in the back. We'll zoom in. Okay, let's practice today breaking down radicals and multiplying radicals. Only those two things we're going to study. So breaking them down. And I even put in a variable here, which is where we have a lot of our trouble. Now 2 is going to come right on down. He is a coefficient. He has nothing to do with the inside of the radical. He's waiting. He's like the next door neighbor friend. Now I break down 343. Now I could do this on my calculator by going right over here to y equals. I'll clear that out. 343 divided by x squared. Hit second function graph to get the table. Now remember, you want to bring that all the way down to where it starts being 0.95. It has to be below 1. And then I start bringing it back up again, and I'm looking for a perfect set of numbers. Oh, 7 and 7. That means that the 7 that's the x is outside of the root. The 7 that's the y is inside of the root. Or I could have just broken down 343 by trying out all my perfect roots. 343 divided by 49 is what gives me a perfect answer. Okay, so back over here. So I broke 343 down. It breaks down completely. Now x to the 6th is also perfect. He's going to break down completely. He's going to break down to x cubed, because if he's even, I just cut the exponent in half and I'm done with him. So now my final answer is going to be 2 times 7, which is 14, x cubed, radical 7. And that's my final answer. Now, take a look at this one. It's a little bit bigger. You try this on your own. If you need to stop the video, you stop the video. Okay. Now let's see what you got. -4 is hanging out. Now let's break down 216. If you use your calculator to break down 216, you'll see that 216 goes into 36, and it breaks down to 36 times 6. X squared is perfect, so the square root of x squared, now whether you want to bring it down as x squared like this or break it right out to x, right away I'm going to do that. He's perfect. Square root of y squared is also perfect, so he comes out to be y. This guy's a little odd, so we're going to leave him in. He can't break down at all because he's just c to the first power. And when I'm finishing this up, I have -4 times 6. X and y are both out. 6 and z are both in. So my final answer is -24 x, y, radical 6z. So hopefully that's the answer that you derived also. Pretty easy. Okay, let's try something just simple I just thought about. Breaking down something like x to the 5th. Okay, now he's odd, so he's not a perfect square. He's not something that's going to pull right out, so I have to break him down. Like I taught you in class, we're just going to subtract 1 from him. So we wind up with x to the 4th, radical x. Now x to the 4th is perfect. The square root of x to the 4th is x squared, radical x, and that's how I break down a bigger odd variable. Okay? Just take your time. It's always better to write everything out than do it all in your head. Okay, let's go to multiplying. Multiplication. Okay, now can you see this one? It's pretty big. Okay, multiplying is easy because you're just going to multiply. Same thing as if I had just something like 5x times 4x squared. Well, that's pretty simple. I would just wind up with 20x cubed. I multiply the coefficients and I add up my exponents. Same thing here. 5 times 4 is 20. They're outside, they're staying outside. And now let's do what's inside. 2 times 6 is 12. c cubed times c is c to the 4th. I love when they're even. Now 20 is coming down. I'm going to break down the 12 to 4 times 3. Remember, one of them always has to be something perfect, and 4 is my perfect guy. I use 4 on this one. Sometimes I use 9, 36, whatever's perfect. C squared is perfect, so he's going to be, c to the 4th is perfect. He's going to come up with c squared. So I wind up with 20 times 2 times c squared, who's outside, radical 3. Now to finish it up, 20 times 2 is 40, c squared, radical 3. And there's my answer. Okay, you try this one by yourself. 7 radical 5x squared y, 3 radical 4x cubed. If you need to stop the video, you do so now, and then come back and play it again, see if you're right. Okay, we're going to start this. Let's see if you got it right. 7 times 3 is 21. 5 times 4 is 20. X squared times x is x cubed. Y times y to the 3rd, y cubed is y to the 4th. So far so good. 21 is coming down. Again, radical 20 breaks into a 4 and a 5. X cubed breaks down to x squared and x. Y to the 4th is perfect because he's even, y squared. I'm just going to take care of these now. 21 comes down. Radical 4 is 2. Radical 5 is staying. X squared is x. Radical x is staying. Y squared I already simplified. Now let's see what's left. 21 times 2 is 42. X is out. Y squared is out. And radical 5x is left. And that should be your final answer. If you wanted to write it as 42 y squared x radical 5x, that would also be fine. Kind of, it's better to put the letters in alphabetical order, but this would still be right. Okay.